I am legally, ontologically, societally obligated to tell you this. The age of consent is the dumbest thing that humanity has came up with. Not the stupidest, dumbest thing humanity has came up with. And I'm going to tell you this right now, and I will not tell you this again in the future when I'm older, because I am definitely going to get canceled 10 times in 44 dimensions simultaneously. So let me just go ahead and tell it right now. Age of consent is so stupid. And I'm going to start with an example right away. So animals, for example. Tell me what singular animal is more intelligent than, let's say, a 12-year-old boy. Exactly. There's no animal as intelligent as a 12-year-old boy. However, yes, there are crows that can speak sometimes and all of that. But I'm talking about the standard of complexity, complex and critical thinking. There's no animal that has that compared to any human. So even starting as a baby, we have the standard 100 IQ because we have the potentiality for more complex thoughts and knowledge. And anyways, getting past all of that intellectual things, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. Animals, so their intelligence, I would say the most smartest animal is as smart as a 9-year-old. The most smartest animal is as smart as a 9-year-old. So we'll just say a dolphin, for example. So a dolphin, they have a life expectancy of 10 to 30 years at least. So that means that throughout their whole entire life, they are being compared to a child that is 9 years old. So technically speaking, dolphin and dolphin are just two dolphins mating. Those are 9-year-olds if we compare them to human standards. But let me use something a little close to home. Dogs. No matter how old a dog gets, it will never be able to surpass the knowledge complexity of 2 years old. And in special cases, they can be a little smarter, but going past that, they won't have the same as a human. So, a dog and a dog. Those are 2-year-olds breeding. And let me tell you this, the dumb reason, and this is why I'm not a secularist in my own life, I'm only on this channel. It's hard to come up with a morality that's against bestiality, because the only reason why it's considered bad is because they can't consent. That makes no sense whatsoever. 2-year-old and a 2-year-old dog, they are 2 years old in their mentality, they can mate. But a human and a dog cannot. Why? Because the human dog is younger, but let's say, this is going to be crazy, a 2-year-old human and a dog, is that wrong? How are we going to come up with a morality for that? But anyways, the age of consent is a stupid thing. Now let me tell you this. Let's say, I don't know, I'm not really into the politics or whatever, but Prince Angel, King Angel, let's say he was 14 years old and he married a 30-year-old woman. And let's grant this. He's smart, he's traditional, he's raised around family. It's not like he's like any of these dim brains out here that run around, just sleep around. Let's say he gets with and impregnates a 30-year-old woman. Guess what? He has the intellectual status and he has the money to take care of the baby. He was raised and all of that, and he knows. What is wrong with them? Can he consent? If it is developed just by a number like 21, it's stupid because everything is subjective. there are 30-year-olds that are dumber than me. And it's super common to find a 25-year-old that has far less intellectual capability than me. It's super easy to find. Like, I find some people with a vocabulary of me at 12 years old. And I know vocabulary isn't the only decider of intelligence, but at least that can they have, and they don't. And behavior issues, that's where it gets even worse. So if we're talking about age of consent, then we might as well be like Saudi Arabia and have the age of consent be 0. Absolutely nothing. Because if it's all subjective based on the development of the cerebral cortex, if it's based off of the frontal lobe, if it's based off of things like that, then it is mildly subjective. By the way, 25 years old is just a number, a ball level number. Some have developed before or after. So it's completely incoherent. The age of consent is incoherent. Now, let me go ahead and clear my name real quick. I do believe there need to be an age limit, of course, because a dog can breed at around 1 to 2. He has the availability to breed. She has the availability to give birth. But we need to put a ball range here. Society is weird right now. The taxes is horrible. Kids can't have kids because they're kids and they're not as intelligent as the ones back in the day. But back in the day, it used to be normal for a 15-year-old to have children, like 2 15-year-olds to have children. It used to be normal because that's the age where the fertility rates are super high. Now, I'm not going to go as far and say like a 30-year-old can get with a 15-year-old. Like, come on, no. But tell me, what's wrong with 2 15-year-olds? If they're able to, if they have the money and all that. Like, morally, what's wrong with 2 15-year-olds? I don't think anything's wrong with 2 15-year-olds. And the reason why I don't think there's anything wrong with 2 15-year-olds is because 2 dogs that are 2 years old in intellectual capability, yet they are able to. Now, of course, society's built this way. I wouldn't suggest for this law to be enforced. If it were to ever be enforced, my advice would be to give a 10-year notice before this get completely enforced. Because with the way society is, like, we're gonna have to kill Elon Musk, and we had to destroy all his money for inflation to drastically decrease. And even then, it's going to be a hard thing to get through. So, yeah, it's so hard to get around, but the age of consent is just, like, it's not the right way to go. It's not the right way to go. Now, here are the limits here. Below 15, no. Nope. And part of the problem is the education system. And I'm gonna write a book on how to fix that too. But the education system, we're just making kids dumber at this point. They think that it's making them smarter, but it's a cognitive dissonance because children don't really want to learn if they're forced to. As you know, I'm homeschooled and I'm just all about knowledge. If it was like that, then I'm pretty sure we have a lot of geniuses. But no, everybody's online, bags in their eyes. Sorry for the jump scare, by the way. But anyways, I'm incredibly ashamed of this video. I didn't do any preparing or anything. I just thought of this. This is pure freestyle. But yeah, age of consent is just incoherent. I never seen it as logical at all. Especially reading in older texts and all of that and seeing 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds getting married and all of that. I'm like, there's nothing more immoral about it. And I would agree that in this society, it cannot be done. Society will have to improve tremendously. But anyways, this is a little thought. It's not something I'm gonna enforce. Like I'm gonna be 30 years old, and I'm like, dude, you need to get rid of the age of consent right now. Come on, President Bush. Come on, President Pubic Hair, please. Like I'm not gonna do it. But anyways, goodbye.